Alright. A. No. Something that's not as noisy. By all means.
He said something not
No. So, last time you're in here was about 6 days ago. So, it's been a while. When you were last in here, we started 2.5. We didn't make it all the way through. And I really thought about it. Because that was 5 days. Do I make it 6 and then do a quiz on Thursday? Or do we do our review and quiz today and not include 2.5 on it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, not only that, but y'all got a little bit of a taste of it at the midterm. How many of you got in the next 3 days, it is just tests, tests, and more tests? Project due kind of stuff. Okay, teachers, we don't coordinate our efforts to destroy children. I swear. But when we get close to the quarter, when we get close to a midterm, end of the semester, as we get close to any of these reporting periods, we all want to oh, that's right. The quarter's on Friday this week, so I should probably wrap up whatever unit we're doing so I got the last test in the gradebook. And not as bad as freshmen, but I tell you what, you get up to junior year when you get nailed with Algebra 2, chemistry, US history, English. Wham, 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 all in 2 days. That hurts. So what I want to do for you right now, oh, that's right. I forgot to call down to Yoaster. Okay. So, all right, upperclassmen, tell the freshmen, tests right next to the quarter. As soon as you get right next to end of the quarter, how craptacular is your week?
Not good.
Understatement of the century. Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Horrible.
I want to give you guys the quiz today so that you're not worrying about something on Thursday, because you're probably going to have, in the next few days, almost every one of your classes is going to have a test. So I'd rather get it out of the way today. Okay? On Thursday, we are still going to just jump right back in and finish off 2.5. But I figured it was safer to do a quiz focusing on 2.3 and 2.4, which was just, hey, solve equations. You might have to simplify. There might be variables on both sides. Go. Because I'd rather something like that be your last grade in the grade book right before the quarter. Okay? Especially with new sports seasons starting up soon. Your quarter one will determine eligibility for start of basketball, wrestling, that kind of stuff. If anyone does is it one act? One act plays, I think, come up now, and then there's the winter play. But a bunch of stuff. And I would rather that we just took it easy. So since we didn't have homework, there's no daily quiz. No homework questions. We're just going to jump straight into review. We're going to do review. You're going to do quiz. That's it. While you were doing the quiz, I will finally put your quiz in the grade book because that's made me mad. You've done nothing wrong. I'm mad that I haven't put it in yet. So, you do good. All right. Reviews. 3, 4, reviews. 1, 2, 3, reviews. 1, 2, 3, 4, reviews. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, reviews. 1, 2, 3. Try to look a little more bored. Just, I'm not feeling it. Did everyone get one? You're not supposed to, because at student request, I'm doing the review and the quiz on separate pages, so you don't have to keep flipping back and forth. Tree's already dead. Honor its sacrifice. If you really want to save the environment, no more Bitcoin. So, here we go. I haven't handed you the quiz yet. Okay. So, at the end of the review, like always, devices will go up there. Open notes, open everything, do the quiz. When you are done, I am tired of repeating myself. Quiz in basket. Not notes in basket, quiz in basket. Notes and daily quizzes next to it. Not all over my counter, in a pile. See, look, pile, pile. Piles are good. Cool? All right. So, we started off with the back half of 2-3, which was what happens when I have a multi-step equation, when I have to do a little more work. What can I do with this before moving things around? I'm going to simplify. There was a couple of kids who really latched onto this idea that if I just chop it up, every time I run into a plus or a minus, it's a new term. And then you just ask, which of those boxes go together? I've also seen a couple of kids who are just, that line where the equal sign is, that invisible force field of doom, prevents them from doing really stupid things. Like, most common error that I'll see here is I'll see some kid do this. And they'll head on down the rabbit hole there. Why is this wrong?
You don't have to do the opposite because you're not doing it together.
Okay. You just put them together because they're already on the same side. Okay, example, teeter-totter. That's what an equal sign is. It's a balance. You just said plus 17, plus 17, and it's way out of proportion. Okay? How many of you have been over to the pumpkin patch? Done that yet?
No,
Took my little squirts there this weekend, and I saw a couple of kids playing on the teeter-totters, and there was one kid who had obviously never been on one before. You know when you just get, whoa! He just cracked him right and he fell over. It was great. It was. I shouldn't say it was great, but it was still pretty funny. So, draw your line. Terms that go together go together. What is 6x's minus 17x's? Negative 11x's. Okay. Then, who's lonely? He's lonely because he's lazy. Bring him a date, so plus 11x, right? He's lonely because he's lazy. It's like if I said I'm hungry, and instead you brought me a calculator. Like, these just don't go together. Make sure you're bringing over the correct thing. Show that it zeroes out. Equals 31. Ew. Man, if that would have been 33, it would have been great, right? Oh, we got to do a little more thinking now. I'm going to divide, and I'm left with who's using that language in my room? We always keep it as a fraction, okay? We always keep as a fraction. We're going to keep that as negative 31/11ths because that's the correct answer. Okay, if you cut off anything, if you ever round something, you've lost part of your answer. Now, is there anything wrong with just plugging that in as is? Everyone know where your answer button is? Okay. So if I have accidentally closed my calculator, get over there, dude. All right. There we go. So if I have negative 31 divided by 11, okay. Now you're right. There is 0.81818181818181. If I don't want to lose any of that, and I still want to check my answer, right over here, I'm going to type 6 times my answer. If you know where your answer button is, it will take whatever the last answer you got, and it will plug it in for you without losing any of the decimal train. And I say minus 9 minus 17 times my answer. And if it's right, like y'all see, this is 6x minus 9 minus 17x, right? That looks like a y. It should come out as 22.
I did not. I got 436. Huh? Can you show me how to? I did 6 parentheses answer parentheses minus 9 minus 17 parentheses answer.
No, you didn't.
You definitely did not. Well, the previous
It looked
answer
like
thing
this.
that you said a while back. What if you have the wrong answer before it? That's what I'm saying.
You put that in.
Yeah, but then I got it wrong, so I did it again.
But now when you say answer, it takes the last answer you had.
Dang.
No, this is something good to talk about right now. So Tommy tried the thing, did not get 22. So tried it again, saying, okay, maybe I typed something goofy. But now that you're trying it again, it's going to use whatever the last answer was you had. So let's say I had, I don't know, stuff. Well, now if I typed this exact same thing, what was the answer that came right before it? Blah, blah, blah. Right? And it's not going to be 22. So just make sure that if you're using that answer button, whatever you're actually trying to enter has to be the very last thing that was on your calculator. Now, I don't have to do that. Y'all know how to math. You got out of middle school, right? I can put in negative 31/11ths myself. Ain't gonna be pretty, but I can do it. Say negative 186/11ths minus 9 plus 17. So what's that? 310, 3100, 3000, 10, 210, 32, 37. Question mark? Yes, no? Like, check me before I wreck me. 17 times 31. My mental mojo is trash right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I did a dumb. No, because I asked 5 what?
27.
Like, oh, I had an extra 0 in there. That's why. Could I do this?
Yeah.
Could I take this times 11 over 11? Like, it's all over 11 now. I should now be able to say negative 186 minus 99 plus, what was it? 527? Get a number and divide it by 11. And divide it by 11, not just is 11. You're ruining my punchline, Frank. Okay. And you still get 22. I just want to show you, you can manually put it in, you can manually work with the numbers, or you can get fancy with a calculator. I don't care. At the end of it, what I should see, though, is I'm asking, does this equal 22? I should have 22 equals 22. Now, what I'm going to caution you about is don't write on my desks. And then, please make sure that if you're going to do the check, actually do the check. Because what happens when you get this wrong, let's say you said 30 over 11 instead of 31. And then you come up here and you write this, and you write 22 equals 22 because you didn't actually check it, you're just BSing it. Yeah, we know that you do that. Now, instead of getting 1 off for having gotten the problem wrong, and you did the check, you know that you're wrong, you don't know where you went wrong. Now you're going to get 1 off here and 1 off here for getting the incorrect answer and BSing it. Okay? So just be honest. I've had kids who get the entire problem wrong all the way to the end, and it was because way back here they said 11x minus 9. They missed a negative, and that's it. They ran it all the way into the end zone, and then they realized they ran to the wrong end zone. They did the check, they know they're wrong, and they say, I really don't know where I went wrong. I looked at this for 5 minutes. I would call that a 4 out of 5 because I can see what you did and you have the work to back it up. Sleep deprivation decreases coordination. Now what? Disturbert. We got 75 is. You tell me, I don't trust my mental math capabilities anymore. 30x. I heard, okay. Now I'm hearing multiple people, okay. And then, who's lonely?
That's 75.
So, add 105. It's like Tyson math pimp over here or something. It's like, hey, buddy, I'm going to hook you up. I got a friend. You should meet her. Okay, I added. Now what? Divide by 30 and?
You get a number. So it's a very good number.
Is it a good number this time?
It is. You're not supposed to say it out loud. Boy.
On a review, that's fine. On a quiz, not on the quiz. If I think that x is 6, That's a 15.
That probably works too.
I'm making the errors and checking them. I'm catching it, not you. Okay, what is 2 times 6? 12. What's 12 minus 7? No. What's 12 minus 7? 5. 5 times 15. 75. Okay. So if I see that and then 75 is 75, I'm going to assume that you either did the mental math or pressed the button on the calculator, but you actually checked it. I need to see something to show that you actually checked it. What's another way to do this? Without distributing. Close. Because 15 is smashed up on parentheses. This is multiplying right here, so to undo it, look at what happens if I just take this divided by 15. Okay, there is more than one way to do this. We usually do it a certain way because if I think of it algorithmically, meaning this is the pattern, do the pattern, then I don't have to think. I just have to know what the pattern is. Kind of like, do you know anyone who can solve Rubik's Cubes behind their back?
I can't solve it. I can't solve it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an algorithm. It is literally a combination of left, 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 turn, left, left, turn, left, 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 turn. It's an algorithm. Yes. I knew a couple of kids when I first started teaching on my caseload. They were very, very good at it. They weren't smart, but they memorized that algorithm. And they were speed running it. They would put it behind their back and bam. It was like 8.3 seconds. Rubik's Cube solved. Okay? If you know the pattern to solving these, and your pattern is always distribute, then do it. I just want to show you that there are other ways. Those are just two kids on my case. It was actually 3 brothers. They hadn't taught the 3rd brother yet. Yeah.
So did they have competitions?
Yes. They actually straight up argued about it. Okay. Solve and check, but uh-oh. Now what? I don't care what you move, just move something. So I'm going to start with, who haven't I heard from in a while? Dominic. Who don't you like up there? Which one's looking at you funny? Move that. That bad. You don't like 6. Okay. So what do I do to get rid of the 6x? Okay, this is a negative 6x, so I will add 6x. Show that it zeroes out. I now have 16x minus 32 is 48. Who's lonely? Add 48, right? But you said 48.
No, you're going to have to minus 40.
Okay. Always check for the reasonableness of what you're doing as you're doing it. Before you move on to the next line, this is why showing that this zeroes out, showing that this drops, if you show it, then it's confirming that you're doing the right thing, because things should physically be disappearing. Now what? Okay, if that's 16 times x, I will divide. You know what? I'm going to back that up. I've had kids do this. And they say, where did I go wrong? I forget who I was working with. I saw this exact thing like a few days ago. X needs to be by itself, right? If I'm showing what's going on, 80 over 80 is 1. Crap, there's still stuff with X. Now I know I did it wrong because I'm physically showing it, and there shouldn't be anything with X if I did this right. So I will instead divide by 16. Because when I divide by 16, I can show that this is 1. So all I have left is X. And 80 over 16 happens to come out clean as 5. Okay. Plug it back in. Make sure that 10 by 5 minus 32 and 48 minus 6 by 5. Don't suck. How about you take it with you and then you come do the quiz tomorrow during Spartan time? Okay. Spike it directly into a girl's face and like break her nose and have her bleed on the court. I will give you a brownie. That's slightly vindictive.
Yeah, I bet that's the funniest thing.
I would have busted out
All right, let's try that again. 10 by 5 minus 32. There we go. 48 minus 6 by 5. I just have to make sure they're coming out as the same thing. Now, another way that I'll see kids screw this up is their check. They'll just come over here and say 5 equals 5. If I plug 5 into the equation, do I get 5? So I shouldn't say 5 equals 5. I should be getting 18 equals 18 when I plug 5 in.
Will the check ever be the same number as the answer?
Sometimes. Purely coincidence. It might. As long as the number equal, and you know what? They don't even have to be nice numbers. It doesn't have to be 18 equals 18. It might be big ugly decimal equals big ugly decimal. They're the same, aren't they? So you win. So, what else we got? Ew. Now we got to do some work. You tell me. Okay, I'm going to distribute. Say, okay. There is what number right here? Okay. So when I distribute, that's a 3x minus 8 plus 2x. Make sure that make a note, write that to yourself. If you ever see minus parentheses, put the 1 in there to remind yourself to distribute a negative 1. Okay. Now, do I have any like terms on either side? Because remember, you've got that invisible force field down the middle, that balance. Anything on the left go together?
3x and 2x.
Which is?
5x.
Anything on the right side go together?
No.
What next? I see a variable and a number on both sides, so move something.
So you can already tell us not.
Who do what?
You can already tell us not.
It's not what?
It's not gonna work out.
Why isn't it going to work out?
Because there's already 2 5x's. And this.
Because if I try to get rid of my x's now, or try to move my x's, look at what happens. -8 equals -5. That is not a true statement. What did we say it means when you get not a true statement? No solution. I would like you to write next to this, just in case it pops up. I don't know on which problem it is, if this even occurs. I just kind of pick random numbers and just throw them at the wall and see what sticks. If you ever get a number equals a number and it's a true statement, then it's all real numbers. If it's a false statement, then it's no solution. If I ever just straight up get x equals number, well then that's my answer. That's my solution. Okay? Whenever you solve an equation, right now, in algebra half, you have 3 possible outcomes. Option 1, x equals number. This is my solution. Now you want to check it to see that you're right, that you didn't goof anything up, but one solution. Or everything cancels out and you end up with a number equals itself. So like 0 equals 0, 5 equals 5. What if this was 5x minus 8 equals 5x minus 8? Hey Trey, what's your name?
Trey.
Cool. That's your identity. It is you. Trey is Trey.
All real numbers.
So that would be in all real numbers because it is the identity, meaning no matter what I put in there, the input will be the output. It's going to be correct. Versus, you end up with something that ain't true. False statement. There is no solution. Now, there's no way to actually check no solution. You would have to put in every single number in all of eternity and show that all of them don't work. But that's not possible because there's an infinite number of numbers between any two numbers.
Okay, but what's the biggest?
No. Okay. On a number line, pick a number between 0 and 1. 0.5. Okay. Pick a number between 0 and 0.5.
0.8.
Pick a number between 0 and 0.25.
1.17.
I can keep going. What happens when I get down to between 0 and 0.000000001?
Plenty of room.
Let me get a 0.00.
Can't you just keep adding one more decimal in there?
Yes.
Couldn't you do that forever?
Yes.
So in a finite space, there's an infinite number of things. And then Trey says Poppers. Okay. So, and then Satan said, let there be words with math.
Goodness gracious.
Okay.
Alright, so that's too many for me to do.
A. Okay, so this would be like purchase movies. So this is a really old problem. I just pulled it out of a random book. This is Netflix before streaming. Okay. They would mail it to you. Redbox. Redbox. The actual movie stores. Okay. Yep. So,
My dad got American Sniper. I watched it when I was like 9.
all right, I did that to myself. You be quiet now. A movie club, we'll call it Schmetflix, charges, we don't want to get sued, charges a one-time membership fee of $25. But then you can buy movies for $5 each. Or sorry, $7 each. So when all the movies were $20, being able to buy a movie for $7 was a pretty good deal. Hi.
Would you be subtracting the 7 because you're buying it? Or would you be adding it?
You know, before I even get to what am I writing, what did we say we should do with word problems? Read the whole thing, yeah. But go to the end of the problem. Remember, the end of the problem tells me the question. The question tells me my variables. Blah, 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 blah. How many movies must you purchase for the cost of the two clubs to be equal? So that means I'm going to have cost of club number 1, and I'm going to have the cost of club number 2. Okay. And it says, how many movies must I buy? You know what? I'm just going to say M is number of movies I buy. Then I'll start filling in. Okay, so now let's go back to that first sentence. This movie club is going to charge you $25 and $7 per movie. How much are you paying no matter what?
That's a lot of money.
And $7 per movie. So do I add it or subtract it? I add it, right? Because it's part of my cost. Okay.
You don't want to get sued, remember.
Then do it again. Another club, they don't charge a membership fee. But the movies are more expensive. $12 each.
Yo, that's cheap.
There we go. Y'all, I want you to write some notes to yourself. You get to tell yourself how to do the quiz. Look at the question at the end. If you need to fill in the blank like I did to set the problem up, fill in the blank to set the problem up. 2, the question at the end is going to tell you your variables. It tells you what your answer should be about. I should not get to the end of this and say $5. If I'm trying to solve this, play the Who's Lonely game. Divide by 5. I should not get here and then say $5. Because what was the question? How many movies? So I need to make sure that this is in the context of the problem. Does it make sense? I need to buy 5 movies to break even. This is actually a really common thing where someone will just charge you, like, does anyone do, not in games, but does anyone do Loot Crate? No? Loot Box? Okay, Loot Crate is it's a nerd ordering system where you just pay your $20 a month or whatever it is, and every month they just send you random nerdy stuff. Like it might be a Thanos bobblehead next to a little toy mech next to a bumper sticker that says, I don't know, Jarvis is my co-pilot, whatever. Just random crap like that. And you just, every month I get cool nerd stuff. Yay. I don't know what I'm going to get. Okay. you can do that, or do I pay, I don't know, $50 a year to be a part of whatever club, and then I can get all that stuff at half price? Like, at what point is it worth it? At what point do I spend enough money on this junk to justify the upfront cost? Have any of you ever had to buy your own phone after breaking it? Those are pricey, right? If you get one of those like no contract plans, you got to pay your phone up front. You just have to buy the device. But then the plan every month is super cheap. Versus otherwise, you pay more per month, but you're on the contract, so you don't have to pay for the phone up front. Okay? It's a give and take. When is it worth it? If I don't do this much, I want to take this plan. If I do a lot, I want to take that plan. This is real life math. This is how people can save money. So, get all the way down here. Don't just quit. Answer the question. 5 movies. Okay. Run it all the way. And then, now that we're about halfway through the semester, you're going to start seeing stuff like this pop up on our quizzes, where we're going to bring back old school. We just did a bunch of stuff about equations. So at the end of the semester, when we're talking about like lines and graphs, I'm randomly going to throw an equation problem at you instead. Because it's not enough to just know it. You have to know it and retain it. So let's go all the way back to the first week of school. Do you remember how to evaluate? Done? Sweet. Quiz on desk, because we had a different class last hour. And your class goes the pile over there. Yep. Yep. Thank you, ma'am. Everywhere that there was a variable, I replace with parentheses. Do that first. Negative 3b plus a squared over 5. Then plug in what they are. A was negative 4, b was 12. And then
Just make that minus 4 squared.
what?
Is this plus a minus 4?
Go away. All right. Can I say negative 4 squared and it be the same thing as negative 4 squared, or be the same thing as negative 4 squared? Okay. Where I put things matters, and this is why we're using our parentheses. The parentheses are going to keep me from screwing up negatives and exponents. They're going to help me to do this. Please execute my deranged adolescent sister. Order of operations. That order of operations is what you've seen since the dawn of time, but what's missing from it? What did we say was sneaky about it? So you don't get in a Facebook math argument.
So, since it's like a whole fraction, you need to divide last.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to divide last because technically when I do this, I've put a set of parentheses there. Very good. We're going to do the divide by 5 at the end. Remember that multiplication and division are the same thing. So I'm going to go left to right like a book. Addition and subtraction are the same operation. So I'm going to go left to right like a book. Okay. If I say 9 divided by 3 times 6, You will get grown adults arguing with each other to no end about that online. What's the answer? Find the number.
18.
No. 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 Y'all are just saying numbers. I'm just going to keep saying no. Explain your reasoning.
Because it's left to right. Just read it.
Okay.
3 times
What's really happening here is 9 times 1/3 times 6, right? You have to do it left to right. There is no such thing as divide. We multiply by the reciprocal. There is no such thing as subtract. I add the opposite. So please, if you're going to have your order of operations, maybe put that left to right business next to those so we don't make that, because maybe your teacher's evil and put that exact type of thing in the problem. So, what's first? Parentheses. Do I see anything inside parentheses that I can simplify? No, not yet. Exponents.
That too.
Okay. So I got -3/12 plus, careful with your parentheses. What is a -4 squared?
16.
Positive or negative?
Positive.
Right? -4 times -4 is a positive 16. Okay. Any multiplication or division? Okay, technically there is the division, but like Ashton said, we're going to leave that for the very, 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 very end. Okay, call that -36 plus 16 over 5. Take care of your addition subtraction. -20 over 5. And then finally, -20 divided by 5, -4. The reason that I leave that divide for the very, very, very end is this says -3b plus a squared divided by 5. When I use a big fraction bar like that, it separates things into 2 parenthesis units. It's kind of sneaky. It's using parentheses without actually putting parentheses. So, we've done it twice already. You know the drill. Devices over there, make sure they're off. Not just, I think it's quiet. Not just, well, no one texts me right now anyway. Actually put it over there and make sure that it will not buzz, ring, beep, nothing. You're doing all right there, kiddo. You look like you're gonna melt on the table. Like, you got this? All right. Stop this.